Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. Jordan Moore, Shaun, Cody Kessler. Keely Eure joins us now for our weekly football roundtable. Hi, Keely.
Hello.
Friday night, the Trojans beat Northwestern, and I said a bunch in the sort of leading up to that game. Just statistically, Northwestern was kind of like an Iowa light a little bit, a similar profile. So what can USC take out of what you saw on Friday that can prepare them for what they're going to get on Saturday, which is the supersized version of it?
I think you once again have a team or an offense that is more run heavy. You can really try to shut it down on one side of the ball, and I feel like under Lynn so far this season, USC's defense has been more successful when it's a one-dimensional offense where you can really just sell out to stop one side or stop one part of their offense. So I think that's the thing you take away. And as Braylon Shelby said, I think also just starting fast on defense. You know, we've seen both at Nebraska and now against Northwestern kind of a slow start for USC's defense settling in there. But once they do settle in, they do a good job. So just starting fast in that sense as well.
Yeah, I like the way that Coach Lynn has used a bunch of personnel these last couple of weeks. I think, you look at the personnel he used, you see, the 5 down linemen for front, the base look with the 3 linebackers, the nickel look. Then you have this new look where, Eric Gentry's kind of like in a backup safety position where you got 2 linebackers and Gentry kind of in I think like it's a 4-2-1. It's very unique. I was trying
4-2-1-4
trying to wrap my head around it, but so I think you've given offenses a lot to look at. They kind of you have to be ready for all those kinds of defenses. So that's something else for them to practice. But I think it will be a challenge in the run game, and that's something that the USC has looked good at times with, but also is, given up some chunk plays. So some things to work on definitely in that run game.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what both of them said. Just you got to stop the run. You got to sell out to stop the run, force them to throw the football. They're 133rd in college football right now when it comes to passing offense. I mean, they're only throwing 133 yards per game, 175 yards rushing per game. They want to run the football. They want to control the clock. If USC can make them one-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball, then we give ourselves a great advantage.
Sorry, to add to that, too, I feel like we saw great signs from USC's offense on the other side of that they can run the clock, have those methodical drives.
Go with it.
Yeah,
the first drive of the game was a 16-play drive for USC. And, I was going to ask because it's not USC's style necessarily to play like that. I think Northwestern really forced that. And I was impressed. It almost felt like an NFL drive from Jade Mayava, that first drive in particular, because it was like tight windows, but only 8-yard throws.
Yep.
Like we talk about tight windows, down the field sometimes they're going for big plays, but this is like what you see on Sundays, which is just like these grinding drives. And it's just like, man, you got to fit a ball in just to get a 6-yard completion to get to 2nd and 4. And we were seeing that. You talked about Jacoby Lane was making tough kind of NFL possession receiver type catches. This was not just like throw it over the top and let my athletes go.
Yeah, it's you got to execute on offense. This is what the Big Ten makes you do. They make you execute on offense. They're going to make you push long drives. And having Jacoby, and I think it was important for Coach. I just wanted to see who to pick his brain on, because I definitely think after that last game in Nebraska where he kind of struggled and the balls kind of the rain was, or the weather was kind of an issue, but you need a guy like Jacoby Lane to be in it and locked in at all times. And I think the coaches saw that maybe game and said, hey, we need you at full tilt, man. We need you every single ball that it doesn't matter if it's an end zone ball. It doesn't matter if it's a 6-yard out. We need you going full tilt. And I think the message was passed to him because he had, I thought, an exceptional game on Saturday.
And you mentioned Northwestern. How do they take from that game? I would even say, how do they take from Nebraska? They played 2 really good passing defenses the last couple of weeks. And their MO has been, are you going to take the short stuff? Are we going to take the underneath routes? Are you going to put together these long drives? And then when you have shots down the field, take advantage of them. But the one thing on offense USC cannot do is turn the ball over. When you play a team like Iowa, I kind of flash back to playing those Stanford days under Coach Shaun and Kevin Hogan and those guys that were there. You're not going to get a ton of possessions on the offensive side of the ball. You have to make them count. You can't turn it over. You got to make every single possession count, even if it's 3 points. I'm okay with 3 this game. You want to finish with 6, but let's get 3. Let's put points on the board. Let's extend drives and find ways to get in rhythm on offense.
We played Iowa not that long ago in a Holiday Bowl. Is that right? Holiday Bowl?
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, it was. And I think that was the last game before Lincoln took over, right? I think that was the bowl game before
Holiday
Lincoln's.
Bowl, wasn't it?
Am I right?
No, because that 2020 was Cal.
Okay, so it was going into the COVID year then. It was
Yes,
the last
2019, I
game before that
Yeah,
crazy
the defensive
COVID
end
season.
was just killing us so much.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of where, when I look at Iowa, I was going to do what I was going to do here. They're going to play their game. I think part of it, too, is just like not underestimating them. I remember going into that game and this idea of sort of everyone kind of likes to laugh at Iowa a little bit of being like, oh, they can't throw it. Actually, they threw it a ton in that particular game over the top, but they're good at what they do, and I think that's the part that people they almost beat Oregon on Saturday. I mean, this is not just like a unique team. This is a uniquely good team in Iowa. It needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah, I think this team challenged your mental toughness.
Yeah.
I think as a football team, I watched that Oregon game and on Iowa, and what I got out of that is just the mental toughness of both those teams and how they just went blow for blow, and no matter negative play, positive play, you just keep. That mental toughness has to be there, and that's where I think the challenge will be for the Trojans on Saturday. Is there's going to be a good play, there's going to be a bad play. How is your response, and the mental toughness has to be really clicked in.
And to your point, Kirk Ferentz, their head coach, has been there since 1999. That they know who they are, that they've gotten good at it. They develop players to play on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. That's their MO. You just have to go out there and try to beat them. Don't try to do too much. Just play your type of offense. I will say this, though. I would like to see us still take some shots down the field. Try to force Iowa to keep up. If we can play how we play on offense with Maava and getting Lemon going and Lane and getting the tight ends involved and put up, 14 to 21 maybe in the first half. That's a big task against this defense. But if we can do that, we put ourselves in a great position to control the clock in the second half.
And that's where I think home field could play a big part of it. You knew going in Oregon at Iowa in the rain at Iowa, it was going to be Iowa football, and Oregon's task was trying to beat them at their own game. I do think on our turf, you'd like to make Iowa as uncomfortable as possible.
1,000%. I just flashed back to the Michigan game. I feel like that was a game where you could feel the team or the crowd fueling the team.
Yeah.
Like it was just, you knew the energy was there, and it was like, we need to do this. And Coach Riley said it, like, if you're a USC football fan, you got to be there on Saturday.
And I think they will. It's going to be a fun one. We will be there for sure. USC Iowa is a 12:30 kick on Saturday. We will go on at 10:30. It's looking like the forecast is clearing up a little bit, so you can come hang with us at the Peristyle before the game if all goes according to plans from the weatherman. All right, we've got one more segment to come on Trojans Live. Final segment of Trojans Live on homecoming week. Jordan Moore, Shaun, Cody, Kessler, and Keely Eure. Your over-under is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, a proud partner of USC Athletics. Guys, Cody mentioned it. USC's number 2 in total offense this season at 503 yards per game. Over under 500 yards per game at the end of the season. Can they stay above that 500 mark? Lincoln's high at USC, 506, Caleb's Heisman season. So he's done it once.
Some tough defenses coming up.
Yeah. Wait, to clarify, you're saying we stay above 500 total, not just these next 3 games, average 500.
Next 3 games plus the bowl game is what you got.
Okay.
Sitting at 503.
I'm going under.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I think we went out, but I'm going to go under. We're going to have to do it in a different style than we have the rest of the season.
I mean, 482 was good against Northwestern. I'll take
good point.
482s.
I'll take. Wait, you're saying
we got UCLA in there, Maybe go for a big number. Who knows?
800.
That's what the was for. Because I agree, the next 2 opponents have tough defenses, but then, rivalry game at the Coliseum, I would expect some points there. So I'll take over.
And then a bowl game.
And a bowl game, yes.
Multiple.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows where it's going?
I'll say this. Look, let's look at it. If we go Iowa, if we put over 400 yards of offense over against Iowa on Saturday, I think we win that game. I will take that every day of the week.
I tell you, the other one I was thinking about was over under 20 points for the winning team on Saturday. Do you think if we score 20 or more, we're going to win the game on Saturday, or do you think we could get into a situation where both teams are in the upper 20s?
Yeah, short answer, yes. You would like to believe so. But the caveat to that, or I guess the extra part of that, is I want to see how we stop the run early on. If we struggle against the run, I know Iowa's not a team that goes out and throws it all over the field, but they can put up some points on the ground if we're struggling to stop the run. We don't load the box and aren't disciplined up front with our gap integrity.
Shaun, you have a sense of the game on Saturday? That was it? That was your answer?
Oh, no, I didn't know I was one more time.
Just copying off Cody's paper?
No, yeah. I mean, it's going to be I think 20 points. I expect a little more high scoring, I think, than that.
Okay.
I think they're going to need a couple more points than that. I think Iowa will have some success in the run game. It's what they do, and we've given up that a little bit in the run game. So I think that I think 28 will probably be enough.
Let me ask you this, Shaun. As a defensive lineman, do you look forward to this type of game where it's going to be just down after down, run blocking, run stopping, having to be physical, or do you like the games where it's a little bit more pass heavy?
I know what kind of game it would be. I don't know if I enjoy. That was never my funnest thing. I think as I got later in my career, those kind of things were more fun. But as an early young man, you want to get after the quarterback, and this is not the game. You have to have your mindset for what kind of game it's going to be. It's going to be 9-on-7. It's going to be double teams.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Scored a lot of points against Iowa. You didn't play in the game, but beat Iowa in an Orange Bowl. Really was the signature bowl game that launched the Pete Carroll era, Carson's Heisman year. He was going up against Brad Banks, the guy who finished, I think, number 2 in the Heisman that year. Scored a lot of points. Big Justin Fargas game.
Yeah.
You didn't play. Were you even there?
No, I wasn't.
Watching from the sidelines? Yep. The old attaboy? Getting some Gatorade cups? Powerade? Sorry, we're Powerade school. All right, we're done, guys. We got a big week ahead. We will be on the USC Trojans Media Network. Until then, fight on.